wimbo ninaimba siyo wimbo ni maombi, nikiomba Mwenyezi Mungu aibariki Kenya yangu, kwa jina la Baba na la Mwana Roho Mtakatifu, amina. Kwa jina la Baba na la Mwana Roho Mtakatifu, amina. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu.
The African Women's Studies Center at the University of Nairobi is a center of excellence. Committed to promoting African women's experiences and worldview in scholarship, policy, and institutional development. In its status report on the Kenyan National Food Security 2014, it reveals that 7.1 million Kenyans are chronically food insecure, being often or always hungry. The Ministry of Agriculture also recognizes this.
Estimates indicate that over 10 million people are food insecure, with another 2.5 million relying on food aid. The agriculture sector is a major contributor to our national economy, and majority of the rural households depend on the sector for their livelihood.
Food security comes when somebody has either physical or economic access to sufficient amount of food at all times to meet their dietary needs, their nutritional needs, and also their preferences. Among the worst affected areas by food insecurity are Turkana County, Migori County, and Kisii County. Some of the factors found to contribute to food insecurity included high cost of farm inputs, large families, lack of storage and preservation facilities, erratic climate change, lack of water for irrigation, insecurity, and poor roads. The findings also illustrate that women are the key food providers, responsible for ensuring food security for their households. Dr. Hutchinson of the University of Nairobi observes the following.
When you look at who is manning that critical sector, we are talking about feminization of agriculture, where over 70% of the food is produced by women. And I will not try to describe except just to cut one component of feminization of poverty. Statistics tell us that out of 5 poor Kenyans, 4 of them are women.
The report proposes, among others, a family support program targeting households whose main source of accessing food is own production. The conditions are not, however, the same everywhere. Professor Mwangombe of Upper Kabete campus observes the following.
We need to start looking at the policies. There are those cross-cutting across the country and those which should be county-specific. So we need to see the national policies and county-specific. What do I mean by that? There are counties here which are overproducing food. They have food in one corner, they cannot move that food, rather, through value addition, move that food to the very needy area.
The report also proposes that it is important to know the food insecure families by name and location. This is also also noted by Senator Kiraito Murungi.
That person who is food hungry, or who needs food as a name and an identity card, we can profile. Indeed, I remember when we met the governor of Aribu, they sent 200,000 people food deficient. So he was asked to give a list of those 200,000 people.
The report also proposes helping farmers access farm inputs and storage facilities. Faith Toroitich of Egerton University has the following to say.
We know that we have many constraints or challenges that crop production faces, and one of them, of course, is declining soil fertility. Every time, I'm sure we've been hearing the debate about we need more fertilizer, more fertilizer, more fertilizer. It's because there's declining soil fertility every year in our crop fields. And then we have unfavorable weather conditions, and of course, we know that, I think, too well. And this is, of course, occasioned by the whole phenomenon of climate change that no one has control over right away.
The report also further proposes the provision of water for agriculture. It notes that adequate ready market is also an essential provision. Senator Kiraito Murungi has the following observation.
Why can the government also set a price for maize, beans, and the things which Kenyans usually consume? And they say there's going to be a minimum price at which these crops are going to be bought, products will be bought.
Another important factor in the proposal of the report is the improvement of roads. We must try to ensure that every Kenyan is food secure. This is to realize our Millennium Development Goals, Vision 2030, and the realization of the Constitution of Kenya, Article 43, 1C, that guarantees every person the right to be free from hunger and to have adequate food of acceptable quality. Dr. Nyoro sums up the approach of this report in the following statements.
A lot of the decisions that we are making in this country must be evidence-based. And unless you have a theory of change that drives you from what your input is towards what your expected impact is, all those dots that we are having will not be joined.
Ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, oh, sitakuacha milele. Akili zangu, nguvu zangu, oh, nimeziweka mbele yako. Bibi yangu na watoto, nimewaweka mbele yako. Tabu zangu, shida zangu, oh, ziangalie Kenya yangu. Tabu zangu, shida zangu, oh, ziangalie Kenya yangu. Ewe Kenya inji yangu,